Hi, brothers and sisters, and welcome to your lesson gem for Friday, September 1st, or 1 Corinthians chapter 13. My name is Brother Lammers, and we're going to get right into our lesson curriculum and see how I would introduce this lesson and a few insights on how I would teach this lesson. So here I am in 1 Corinthians chapter 13 in the New Testament teacher curriculum in the week of 1 Corinthians chapters 8 through 13. This lesson is wonderful because it is a skill and lesson that is teaching the characteristics and attributes of Jesus Christ. Charity never faileth. And remembering that we want to focus as the center of our teaching and making Jesus Christ the center of our teaching. And so if you remember how each lesson is laid out, they have this introductory paragraph, and this lesson is intended to help you feel Jesus Christ's pure love for you, and to help you seek to try to live it better. And so, believing in the learner, if you are not praying to see your students as the Lord sees them, it's just an invitation to begin doing so. And not only just praying for them, but praying for your students individually and specifically by name. And there's a little bit of a student preparation if you choose these things. I love the student preparation call-out boxes. Just know that the majority of these are going to take at least a day of preparation in order to be effective in the classroom. A lot of them don't just have you take 1 minute at the very beginning. It needs to be introduced the day before or the night before, and as an assignment to a student or possibly a text message or as an invitation. Prepare to come to class with this tomorrow. And so these activities right here are designed as a springboard to get you into the scriptures. So these are great questions to, again, our relationships with others, to help us get into this teaching, the pure love of Christ. In our lesson material, you'll see that the pure love of Jesus Christ is going to be introducing what charity is. And this is such a cool topic because there is so much on it. The Book of Mormon is plentiful with verses on charity, but can I just invite you to consider setting a timer right now for 5 to 10 minutes and do not keep teaching, that's a terrible way to say that, or to stop teaching about what charity is if the timer goes off. The reason we want to do that is if we're truly going to make Jesus Christ the center of what we're teaching today, we could spend the entire lesson just on this section, the pure love of Christ. What is charity? Describing it and giving definitions. But the next section in our lesson, brothers and sisters, is the perfect example of Jesus Christ, or letting Jesus Christ model what charity is. And so I love this section of the lesson, but as you see, it is the majority or the largest section of the lesson, but we should take not 30 minutes on this. I would invite you to take 5 to 10 minutes introducing what charity is. By doing so, you will allow the focus and centralized part of your lesson to be on Jesus Christ. These look for questions are fantastic. They help unify your class, and they will give your students purpose before reading a verse, a quote, or watching a video. So I invite you to please make that part of who you are as a teacher. Before I ask my students to read anything, they have a look for or identify question. This is great. You can set this up that there's more excellent ways in chapter 12, verse 31. But what is the more excellent way? Please read verses 1 through 3, looking for what is the most excellent way. And this most excellent way is, it's very, very obvious. If you have not charity, if you have not charity, if you have not charity, help them see that we're going to be talking and identifying charity. Now let's read verses 46 and 47, looking for what do you learn about charity? And again, all these different activities. Why is charity so important? Awesome. Read this quote. Why is charity so important? It's all so good. But it's building up to, brothers and sisters, this right here, this example. Jesus Christ is the example of perfect love. He is the example of charity. So it invites you to consider displaying these images of Christ around the classroom and inviting the students to just think about what's happening. Can I invite you to go one step deeper? I'll include these in the link in the description below. It is the verses that are corresponding with these pictures. Can I invite you to send your students in, as they're looking at the pictures, to read the description and to read the example and Jesus Christ modeling what charity is? The power that will come into your classroom as you emphasize and put Jesus Christ as the center part of your teaching is going to make the difference in this lesson about charity. Instead of describing what charity is, feeling what charity is, because Jesus Christ is giving us our example. So I invite you to please include the verses and go into the verses, and then spend the last 5 to 10 minutes of your lesson living a life of charity. Let's go to verse number 48 of Moroni chapter 7, looking for the invitation. Once you identify the invitation, some great things, but then it ends with, what can you do to demonstrate more charity? And what will you do to show Heavenly Father your desire, that you desire his help? So I love the lesson for today. And just the quick insight for today's lesson is, make Jesus Christ the central part of your lesson. Let him model what charity is. As you do so, I promise that the Spirit will testify that this is true, that it is real, and it will bring it into the hearts of your students. Thank you so much, teachers, for all you do. We'll see you next week.